Hey, welcome back everybody. I'm going to show a few knives. There's an upcoming video. I'm going to go through my entire knife collection I've gathered over 40 years. But I'm going to talk about what you really need. And I'm going to make a point with this set right here. A few days ago I was invited to come cook at a corporate event. It was a last minute deal. Over 100 people showed up. 6 incredibly intensive hours of cooking. I had no idea what I was getting into when I got the call and I accepted it. I didn't know what the menu was, I didn't know what we were cooking. I just knew roughly the amount of people. So I didn't know what to expect. I grabbed my knife roll and I loaded it with knives. This is what I took because I didn't know what I was going to run into. 10-inch Wusthof. I love this knife for melons, big heads of cabbage, big heads of lettuce. We didn't use it. Bread knife. This is not my favorite bread knife, but it's the one that fits in my knife roll. I didn't need this one. A little 8-inch Wusthof. It's part of the Icon line. I don't mind beating this knife up a little bit. I didn't know if I was going to be into shellfish, crabs. Was I cutting up a lobster? I didn't know. This knife would take a good beating. I didn't use this one. Little boning knife. This is, you might recognize it more if I still had the little heel on it here. I ground that off and resharpened it. I don't like that part. So just a little boning knife. I didn't know I was going to be working with lamb shanks, steaks. Didn't need this one. One of my favorite paring knives, a little Kasumi, razor sharp. Didn't use it. Just I had the room, so I threw in another little paring knife, and I didn't know how fancy we were going, so a little Tournay knife. Didn't use it. I'm not a big fan of tomato knives. If you cut something and you eat it right away, a tomato's going to be fine. If you cut it in a commercial setting where you cut with a tomato knife and go back to it a few minutes later, an hour later, they start to bleed out. They get really wet, but it's a good cheat. I didn't know if I was going to need it, I grabbed it. Now we're getting down to my favorites. I've done a video on this knife before, the 9-inch Wusthof carbon steel. This is usually my go-to knife. Didn't use it. My Murray Carter. I love this for vegetables, wickedly sharp. Murray made this one for me. We met many years ago. It's held up great. I'm going to do a video just on this knife. I didn't use it. When things got really crazy, I grabbed my Kramer. I love my Wusthof, but this Kramer is quickly becoming my favorite. It's starting to overtake the Wusthof a little bit. It's a little bit different style, but Bob Kramer nailed this design. It's perfect. It's a fantastic knife. This was what I used the bulk of the night. Little 4-inch Wusthof paring knife. Once again, it's part of that carbon steel commemorative 200th anniversary set. These I used most of the night. I used this little utility knife, a little Wusthof, for a small part of the knife or night. This is all I used. Basically I used this one because somebody picked this one up. But 6 hours of intense cooking for a party of over 100, that's what I used. A 10-inch chef and a 4-inch paring. We're going to do another video on my entire collection, and I'm going to make the point of what you need, what you should buy. Should you buy sets or go a la carte? But working with some of the top chefs in the country, this is what I used for 4 hours to cook for 100 people. Hope to see you again. I've got a couple more videos coming up very soon. Thanks.